Before the championships, before the MVPs, before the Hall of Fame careers, they were just high school kids, but not normal high schoolers. We're talking about players so dominant, so hyped, that the entire basketball world already knew their names before they ever stepped onto an NBA court. Today we're breaking down the greatest high school basketball prospects of all time, and some of these stories, they feel unreal. Let's get into it. Global prospect Victor Wembanyama. While not American high school, Wembanyama deserves mention. At 7'4" with guard skills, he's been on the radar for a very long time. He was labeled a generational prospect before turning 19. Scouts were calling him the best prospect in decades just a few years ago. Andrew Wiggins. They called him Maple Jordan. That nickname tells you everything. Wiggins had elite athleticism, scoring ability, and size. He was one of the most hyped prospects of the 2010s before heading to Kansas out of Canada. Greg Oden. Before injuries changed everything. Greg Oden was viewed as a franchise center before even stepping foot at Ohio State. Dominant rim protector, massive frame. Some scouts believed he was the safest #1 pick in years. How wrong that turned out to be. His high school dominance made him a near lock for greatness. Unfortunately, injuries derailed his career. Zion Williamson. Now, Zion might be the most viral high school prospect ever. His dunks broke the internet. Millions of views before college. When he blew through his shoe at Duke, it was national news. His athleticism at 17 did not look real. Sebastian Telfair, the mixtape era. This was different hype. Telfair's high school games at Lincoln High were legendary, but it was the And One mixtapes that made him famous worldwide. He became one of the first viral high school stars. The expectations were enormous before he ever reached the league. Dwight Howard. Coming out of Southwest Atlanta Christian Academy, Dwight was a physical freak. 6'11", built like a grown man and insanely athletic. He averaged nearly 25 points, 18 rebounds, and 8 blocks as a senior. The hype was massive, and he became the #1 overall pick straight out of high school, the last one to do it. Kevin Garnett. KG reopened the door. After decades of players going to college, Garnett jumped straight from high school to the NBA in 1995. He was a raw prospect, but his length, athleticism, and intensity were undeniable. He changed the trajectory of preps to pros players forever. Kobe Bryant. Kobe entered the league straight out of high school in 1996, but before that, he was lighting up Lower Merion in Pennsylvania. Kobe had NBA level footwork and skill at 17 years old. He wasn't the most hyped prospect ever, but scouts knew he was special, and his confidence already legendary. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Before he was Kareem, he was Lou Alcindor. In high school, he led Power Memorial to a 71-game winning streak. Yes, 71 games. He was so dominant that dunking was banned in college, partly because of him. At 7'2" with skill and touch, he was considered a once-in-a-generation talent before the term even existed. And you already know LeBron James, the chosen one. There's never been hype like this. LeBron James was on the cover of Sports Illustrated as a junior in high school. Quote-unquote, the chosen one. National TV games, packed arenas, NBA scouts everywhere. He averaged 31 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists as a senior. And somehow, he exceeded the hype. Shoot, he's still playing and it's 2026. When it comes to high school prospects, LeBron is the gold standard. Some prospects live up to it. LeBron, Kareem, Kobe. Some don't. But the pressure, it's unreal. When you're 17 years old and the world says you're the next legend, that's different. So here's the debate. Who was the greatest high school prospect ever? I'd say it's easily LeBron, but you could also say Kareem, KG, somebody else. Drop your answer in the comments. And if you love basketball history, hype stories, and NBA deep dives, make sure you subscribe. I have more lists on the way.